Welcome to Behind the Curl, where connection is created with one another through the sharing of the personal natural hair stories and experiences, as well as natural hair education brought to you by myself. I am a naturally textured curly hair specialist. I am also your host, Amy Bush, and I invite you to join me as we celebrate what is natural, beautiful, and authentic. Hello and welcome to the new year of 2023. I hope everyone enjoyed their holidays and got to think of some new goals that they might have here for the beginning of the new year. I know that I do. So I thought I would start off this next series here on Behind the Curl with a very fun interview with two girls with curls, Leigh-Ann and Erin. I got a chance to talk with them about their product that they have produced, how it came to be, and where you can find it and how it works. They gave some extra tips as well. And this product is full of hydration. We've been using it in the salon, and I love it. The staff loves it, and so do the clients that I'm using it on. So you will have to definitely check them out. So come take a listen and kind of be that fly on the wall and see how our conversation went. Hello and good morning. How is everyone doing today?
Doing very well.
Morning. Doing good.
How
Good.
about
So I would like to introduce Erin and Leigh-Ann of Two Girls with Curls to the listeners today. And I'm pretty excited because I just found out about you guys more recently. And it was kind of a fun story on how that is. Um, I think that before we get into everything and you guys get into your story of how you created this absolutely magnificent product that I've been really enjoying and my clients have been loving, and my staff. I mean, everybody's going crazy over it, especially the lip balm. But yeah, so I thought I would just share with the listeners as to how I found out about you. And then from there, we'll go into what your story is. One day I was in Kroger and I was checking out and was trying to hurry. And this woman with curly hair next to me just kind of speaks up and she says, "Oh my God, your curls are amazing. Where do you get your hair done?" So I laughed, of course, and I was like, "Oh, I happen to own this little salon around the corner." And she starts laughing. And so, as you know, curly girls start talking about their hair and their curls. And then I find out that I can't even help her because she said that she couldn't find some place where she could get her curls done because she didn't even live here in Ohio. And then she happens to mention that she had these two friends that had a product line. And so she and I exchanged numbers and we were texting, and she gave me Erin and Leigh-Ann's contact information. And then we started emailing back and forth, and then found out that Leigh-Ann and I have a mutual contact of a girl that used to work for me some years ago. So small world. And I think that the universe said enough was enough. You guys have to meet. And that's how it is. So that's kind of how I found out about Erin and Leigh-Ann. And I have to say, I also noticed that your tagline, "Embrace Your Curls," is the same as mine. And I found that to be interesting as well because I had come up with that back in 2009. And I was kind of curious how you guys came up with the tagline.
I
Well, I think that probably has to do with Erin and like being natural since the early 90s?
late 90s, yeah, mid
Late
90s,
90s.
mid 90s, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I think it was just it was partly like because, the curly hair, natural hair thing was not really the in thing when I started becoming natural. I think I kind of did the big chop when it was 94, right before I went to college, and nobody else was going natural. And I don't know. I think so many people were trying so hard to like straighten their hair and do all of this other stuff. So I just really wanted to embraced my own natural texture. And so I think that's kind of where the tagline came from. Um, and so many people have curly hair and don't know what to do with it. And I think that's the big thing. So, the whole part of embracing the curls was, really just to kind of give people the permission per se to go ahead and embrace their natural textures.
Yeah. For me, I was getting ready to develop and really create the idea and the concept of ambush. So there was this team that I thought, well, maybe they can help me have some sort of a tagline or a brand line. And they came up with all kinds of things, probably like 10 different phrases. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't think that that's quite going to fit. And I had presented it to clients, and everybody was kind of like, not really jiving with it. It was just like, this isn't, yeah, that doesn't quite feel right. So, of course, I had gone back to the team and was like, I don't think any of these are going to work. And I've shared them. And so their comment was, well, you can't share these sorts of things, with your clients because you're going to get too many opinions. And I'm like, yeah, but it needs to resonate with my clients. And if it's not resonating, then it's not right. And I woke up in the middle of the night one night and I was like, it's simple. Just keep it simple. And that's how that popped up into my head, just because that's really what the message was for me as well. Just embrace your curls, embrace what you have. So how did you guys meet up? Tell me about how the story of how you met, you started to come up with the idea, the concept, and then you had this baby.
Sure. I mean, it started obviously at work at Whole Foods. We had worked together for a while, and we one day it was really slow, and we were just talking about all the things we wanted to do, and we were like, we would love to have a product, like a curly hair product. And I remember when we were in the middle of talking about this, a customer comes up and she walks directly up to me and she was like, "What do you use on your hair? Whatever it is, I will buy it." And I was like, see, it's our sign. I know that we can do this because we both love more natural products. Like working at Whole Foods for years, we kind of just gravitated towards that. And we were, as the story goes for a lot of people, just very disappointed with how they were working. Like maybe they had the ingredients that we loved, but we weren't getting the results, or we could find products that had the results, but we didn't love the ingredients. And so that's really how it started. And then we knew through years of trial and error the way that our hair responded to certain ingredients. So we already went in with a list of knowing what we wanted to put in it and then just figuring out the rest from there.
Yeah, and I think, when you have people who have challenges with hair, we naturally just started talking about that a lot. What do you use? What kind of stuff? What ingredients work for your hair? What products have you tried? But yeah, it just made more sense for us to make our own since we were not having any success in finding some, on the shelves.
Yeah, a lot of people have started in the last years due to the lack of products being offered or produced, made available from large companies. So it has not definitely gone down into smaller individuals, smaller groups of people, getting down on, I guess, ground level, so to speak, of starting up from the ground and saying, if we can't find this, we're going to have to create it. Now, one of the things that I have found extremely unique about your products is how they absorb in. I gotta tell you, the wow factor that really hits it for everyone is I will take the product, the lotion or the spray leave-in conditioner, and I will apply it on somebody's hands, and I say, "All right," and they're like, "What am I supposed to do with it?" I'm like, "Just rub it in. Rub it in like you do lotion." And then they're like, "Oh my god." And they'll say that for, like, minutes upon and they're like, "My skin already," like, it's so noticeable, and for me, as a hairstylist working with product, I was looking for something that absorbed, because if we are talking about all this time how important it is for hair to get moisture and for it to be able to absorb the moisture, hold on to the moisture, and then the product just sits on the top. So, did you guys like come up with that idea that it needed to absorb in? Was it an accident, a happy one, or because I'm really curious, like how you guys, as two individuals not in the industry, but knowing that you needed something, how did you come up with that concept?
I think part of it is knowing like how your body when you eat food responds to certain ingredients and trying to take that and put it into a product. Like so as much as we could keep it simple and clean, you know that your hair is going to respond to it. And that's kind of where we started with it is we tested it a lot just to make sure, but we knew what we didn't want with the film and the stickiness. And so removing all of that and just seeing and yeah, like testing it out and getting the results of just hydration. And that's kind of our main focus is just hydrating the hair.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's funny that you say that you have the clients rub it into their hands because, you know, we both talked about how you put lotion in our hair because the lotion is meant to absorb into the skin and that kind of thing, and we would put lotion in it because some of the products were too heavy, too filmy, too sticky, too crunchy, and we hated that. We wanted to just really embrace our natural texture and the softness of the hair, and lotions were what were helping that. So as we were testing things in the kitchen, we were kind of going that route with it. And so even, with our products, we say, if it doesn't work for your hair, then use it on your hands, use it on your feet.
Absolutely. I found, yeah, just that lotion feel.
Hmm.
And the lip balm as well. That is amazing. We talk about it all the time in the salon. Um, it's that, the same idea and the concept goes over to the lip balm. And that, it doesn't just sit like you think of petroleum or a lot of these other uh, synthetic ingredients, that are in things. It doesn't just lay on the top, it doesn't get stuck, it still gets absorbed in as well. So, I would say that you guys have done an amazing job with the consistency across the board for that. Now, another thing that is super unique about your product as well, and I only have this in one other product in my salon, is the fact that it works on all textures. That's another thing that you don't see in a lot of products or product lines. Um, we'll have, you know, products that work on maybe thick, coarse, tight, kinky, curly, non-porous, but they are too much and too heavy for your really fine, high porous hair. Um, That's another amazing thing. Talk to me a little bit more about that, and because for our listeners, they can't see you, but Erin, you have hair that's very different from Leanne's. So tell us a little bit about your hair, your texture, and then Leanne can talk a little bit about her texture. And how did you guys have like that meeting of the curls, in the middle?
Well, I know with, like I said, I was natural back in 94. And I know it was just such a struggle for me to find products that weren't so greasy. And I think that's just kind of been the norm of my hair texture is like you got to put a whole lot of grease in it. And then a lot of it was petroleum based. And so you just always had this really, film on your hair. It So we were just looking to eliminate that because my hair texture doesn't need that. It needs some, oils, and it needs, like it can take a lot more of like the shea butter. Like our styling cream is shea butter based, so it's a little bit heavier, but it's not greasy. And I think that was the biggest thing was like a lot of the hair care products for Black women were very greasy, and just sat on your hair. And so we were looking to eliminate those ingredients that cause the product to do that. And for my hair, I mean, I'm probably 4B, and it's changed a little bit over the years, but it's one of those things where, again, the lotions were helping my hair a lot better, and the lotions weren't greasy. And so that's when we were like, okay, well, let's try this, see how it works on the hair. And it's amazing. And then with Leanne, like she can't necessarily use a whole lot of the styling cream in her hair, but she can use it on the ends, and so it still kind of goes across the board of hair textures, like, depending. And some people who have, hair like Leanne can take a little bit more of the styling cream. And so we're always surprised when we see the people who are using it, because we're like, oh, we never would have guessed that would have worked for you. But really, everybody's hair texture is so different. It may look like it could, only handle like our hair lotion, but then on the other side, they're using the styling cream. So it's pretty amazing.
So for me, I just have really thick, coarse, dry. I highlight it so it makes it even drier hair. And most of the products, it all goes back to that film, were somewhat hydrating, but not the way that I would like. Or even though my hair is super thick and it looks as if I should be able to put a very heavy product on it, I cannot. It weighs it down almost immediately. It makes it greasy. So over the years of just using different products and seeing how my hair texture just really gravitated towards very, very hydrating products with just a tiny bit of hold that would be added in after, that's really like when we were doing the hair lotion and developing the hair lotion, that was really designed for me because I really want the hydration, but I don't want the greasiness or it to be weighed down. And there's something about like the hair lotion and the clean hydration that your curls just, it like brings out the best in them
Mhm.
because it's such a clean hydration. So for my hair texture, it's kind of like the styling cream was created with Erin's hair texture in mind. The hair lotion was created with mine in mind. Some people use a combination of both. Yeah, and we're sometimes surprised at who's using the styling cream versus the hair lotion, but hydrating it is kind of where we started and where we're going.
Yeah.
Well, I think hydration is at the base of that, and I really like the terminology that you used of clean hydration.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
really like that, um, because there's many different ways to hydrate the hair. And I have to say, I've got this little pet peeve, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not on this, but I think you guys have nailed it on the hydration. Is everybody that's like, you have to continuously add water to hydrate your hair, and it's like in the moment, it does hydrate it in the moment, just like when it's raining outside, it's 100% humidity. But as soon as it stops raining, then there's no more humidity in the air. So it's the same thing. If that was the case, we would just add water to our hair and our hair would be perfect. So the hydration doesn't really truly come in the form of water. It comes in the form of the product that we're putting in because that's how it gets stuck. That hydration gets stuck inside the hair. But so yeah, I just had to kind of give my little piece on my little pet peeve of things I hear influencers and sometimes hairstylists because they're just repeating what they've heard. But I think that the secret to your product and being able to work with both textures, and I don't think that there's enough focus on this because everybody gets caught up into the type of curl they have, right? Like Erin, you said you've got that 4B, a little 4A here and there, maybe a couple spots are a little 4C. Leanne, yours is more of that 2C. You might have a couple 3As in through there, but it's really porosity. It's
Yes.
not curl and it's not diameter of the hair. So it's not, is it coarse or fine or, you know, it's what is your porosity? Because that's what influences the absorption of product. And I think that with you guys keeping it simple, but still providing anything from the styling cream to the lotion, and then being with the leave in spray works for everybody. I think that you guys have really hit it on the molecules being small enough to be able to be delivered into the hair. So kudos to that. Um, so I know that I now have added it into our salon. It is definitely on our website. So if anybody wants to order, they can go through the website. They can go into the affiliate link. Where else and how else can listeners pick up your product?
We do have them available at Whole Foods locally here in Columbus, Ohio. So all three of them carry our product. We also just recently went into Grand Rapids Whole Foods and Vienna, Virginia Whole Foods. And then we do also sell it in a small natural market in Huntington, West Virginia, called the Wild Ramp. And then, of course, you can find us online at twocurlygirls.com.
Yeah, and I really like your website
Thank
as well.
you.
It's, pleasant to go through. Um, I like your little blogs. The pictures are beautiful and just enough of a tip of information that it's easy to absorb. It's not too wordy. So, I will be looking forward to seeing more pictures and more blogs on that. And do you, so tell us some of your favorite tips and ways to use the products.
Okay. I'll start with I use all of them obviously and love them. The shampoo is just a very mild hydrating shampoo. And the conditioner has, for me, and I know for Erin too, it's very important to have a certain amount of slip in the conditioner. So obviously shampoo and conditioner you use as you would any shampoo and conditioner. The conditioner can also be left on longer for a deep conditioning as well. As I said, we said earlier, I don't necessarily use a ton of the styling cream. So my two main styling products are the spray leave-in and the hair lotion. I only wash my hair once a week. I do apply the spray leave-in almost daily to reactivate whatever product I have in there. And sometimes I'll do a quick, like, 5 minute diffuse low speed dry, depends on how much time I have. And then the hair lotion, I use it two ways. After I use the spray leave-in in between washes, I will kind of spot check my hair and apply it where it's needed. On the days that I wash it, after I get out of the shower, I will just run it completely through all of my hair with my fingers and then scrunch. And then my hair texture does need a little bit of hold, which is something we will make at some point in time. We just haven't figured out our formula yet. But I will then apply some form of hold, usually in gel form.
Yeah, for me, I use the shampoo and conditioner in the same manner as well. And I will typically wash it twice, and then condition and put a cap on. I'll comb it out when I put the conditioner in, put a cap on, and just kind of go through my daily, my washing routine. And then when I get out of the shower, after I rinse it out, get out of the shower, I will apply the leave-in. So like like you said, the leave-in, it just works across the board. Just kind of helps to get a little bit more hydration into the hair, and then while it's still wet, I apply the styling cream. Always apply it when it's wet, just because it absorbs a lot better that way. And in between washes, again, I wash mine about once a week too. My hair is fairly short, so I don't have to really worry about drying. I usually let it air dry. Um, but I will, once I get the product in, I kind of, I don't know, rub my hands around in a circular motion around my hair, and that just kind of encourages the curls to kind of curl up. And I just let it air dry. But in between washes, I will periodically either use the leave-in or or like a spray of water, and put in a little bit more of the styling cream, to get the moisture back and get that curl pattern back. Because of course, when I wake up in the morning, my hair is matted to my head, so I have to do something wet to get in there to help just loosen up the hair again.
Oh, great. That's good to know. I mean, knowing the correct way to use products, it really
Yes.
helps because sometimes if you just don't know the little things, then you might not get the performance out of it that you're looking for.
Hmm.
But I can tell you that for us in the salon, we've played around with them a lot of different ways. And I like mixing them with other products because they mix extremely well. sometimes products don't play well together. You go to mix them in your hands to cocktail, which is a lot of what I like to do versus layering. I might take 2 or 3 different products, put it into my hands, mix those together to essentially create a new
Mm.
product. But some product lines tend to create like a separation or like kind of a clotting type
Yeah.
effect in your hand, or that balls up. And so if you're mixing different product lines and that happens, then those 2 products are not going to do well together on your hair texture. So definitely first mix in your hands, see what's happening, and then you can try another combination. But for us, if we need more hold for that 2 ABC, 3 ABC type curls, and we want more volume because we tend to not get as much volume as you would, Erin.
Mhm.
Our hair doesn't take up as much space. I like to mix in like a foam, your lotion, and then maybe like a liquidy type, lotiony type gel. And I'll mix all 3 of those and then apply that roots to ends on my hair. And I will diffuse that. That keeps it nice and soft, but yet I get some bounce and some curl and wave. But I'll tell you what I really love and look forward to is day 2,
Mhm.
because on day 2, I like to use your leave-in spray to refresh my curls, and my curls are curlier every day. I can go longer in between my shampoos. Um, and yeah, I look forward to refresh days now.
Yeah.
Instead of going, "All right, now gotta spray water, gotta do." I can take it straight out, just start spraying from the bottle, um, and then I can see it, so once that starts to come up, I might add another dab of the lotion,
Mhm.
and then I'll diffuse, and, it just really picks up and so much more volume, and yet it's not crusty feeling, it's not
Mhm.
coated, and so, yeah, my days are pretty happy.
Yeah.
I know that the first time I did the whole process and I dried my hair and I went to my husband, I was like, feel it, feel how soft this is. Isn't it amazing?" So, he did agree with me, he might not have said anything, but if I hadn't asked, but I just needed that one witness
Right.
to help, bask in the happiness of the moment. Well, fantastic. Um, we are located in Gahanna, Ohio, which is right outside of Columbus, Ohio, a small suburb out of there, outside there in Ohio. Um, and sometime I think it would be really great, and we've talked about this, Erin and Leanne, to have a day for you guys to come in, kind of talk with clients. You can answer questions, showcase. We've also tossed around some other exciting stuff of maybe making some videos together, showing how to use the product on different textures. So I can tell all of you out there listening that we've got some things that we would like to do and sprinkle into our busy lives, but some things to present for you here in the future in this next year.
Yeah.
Um, so pretty excited to be able to team up together on this.
We are too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we'll definitely have to make sure we get a video of your hair curling up because, the first time that we met you and we were showing you our products and you sprayed that leave-in in and we just saw the curls just kind of start going and growing. That was
I
awesome. And
know.
that was even great for us because, we don't see people using the products all the time either.
It was pretty cool. I was pretty happy. I was sold at the end of that conversation. All right, I have to have this. What do we do? Where do we go from
That
here?
was our
How much
goal.
can I order? Yeah, I'm so glad you guys could make the time to come and join me today, this morning, to be able to talk to everyone out there and share all this goodness for that. So now, and we'll be putting into the show notes on how to find the products. So that way, if anybody is interested, and you can always contact me at ambushedhairsalon.com as well, if you want to know more information too. So, any last words?
Thank you for having us, for sure. And we're very excited too about videos are something we have been wanting to do for a very long time, and we just, we're figuring it out as we go. So I think teaming up and showing how to really use our product will be an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm just so excited about the collaboration and just looking forward to seeing what the future holds for both of us, and just really, getting our product out there and known. And I'm glad you guys have had such a positive reaction to it at your salon. And so we want other people out there to know that this is a great product.
Yep, just need to get it out there and just need to share it and more people, getting to try it. Absolutely. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure as always every time that we get together. And yeah, guys, look for more exciting stuff coming in the future. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about Two Girls with Curls and how it started and how it began, and a little bit more about why it's going to be such a great contribution to the curly hair community here in Columbus, but also in other states. So it's really exciting. Well, I want to thank you again for joining me and starting off the new year right. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care and much curl love. If you have really enjoyed listening today and would like to have me address any questions you may have, or if you are inspired to be interviewed on this podcast with your story, with either your success journey, or you would even appreciate extra help with your curls, send all correspondence to me at AmbushedCurlAcademy@gmail.com. I would love to add your voice and inspire other listeners. Now, I have an opportunity that is special for all of you that are hairstylists, or maybe you are not, but you know a hairstylist. And if you were inspired by what you heard and seeking to expand your curl education, I would like to invite you to visit the Ambushed Curl Academy website. There you will find my online curl education course I created in order to inspire other hairstylists. If you have any questions, I can be reached at AmbushedCurlAcademy@gmail.com, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. It has been a pleasure to have this opportunity to celebrate natural curls with you. And until we meet again, love your curls and embrace the natural beauty that is uniquely you.